Good morning, I'm Jason Whiteley. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson has talked about retirement before, but she has also changed her mind before. Johnson's running for a 14th term next month. She represents District 30. This is downtown Dallas. It's Duncanville, DeSoto, Lancaster, Oak Cliff, most of the southern portion of Dallas County. 2 weeks ago, we reached out to the Congresswoman's office and to her campaign, inviting her to appear this morning. A few days ago, her chief of staff told us she could not do it this week, so we asked the Congresswoman's office to give us a date that works best for her own schedule. We exchanged 7 emails over the last few days, but Congresswoman Johnson's team never would tell us when she could appear with us. So in studio are her 2 Democratic challengers, former state rep and Dallas City Councilwoman Barbara Mallory Caraway, plus Eric Williams, a filmmaker and former journalist who is now an educational consultant. And joining the questioning, as always, is Bud Kennedy of the Star-Telegram. Big table here. Thanks for coming in, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Let's start with the basic question. The Congresswoman has had overwhelming victories in the past. What makes you think it will be any different next month? Barbara, we'll start with you.
Well, it is a different season. And I think that what the constituents and the voters have begun to see is that nothing has changed. Washington is out of control. Donald Trump is out of control. No one in our district is speaking out against Donald Trump and the inequalities that are persistent in our district. And so I believe that it's incumbent for me to go to Washington and to be not only the voice, but the vote for the people. We need an advocate in Washington.
Eric, she's had crushing victories in the past.
Yes.
Why won't it be any different this time?
Well, I think we need liberation from the problems that currently exist. We got a lot of corrupt politicians in Dallas, Eddie Bernice Johnson being one of them, I believe. I mean, we got $500,000 of campaign finance money missing from 2014. I mean, we got poverty running wild in the southern sector of Dallas. I mean, she has not been visible. I mean, she's a ghost today. I mean, she's been dictating to this district for 46 years. I think that's way too long for anyone to be in power. We have a Mugabe in Dallas, and we need to get rid of the Mugabe.
Let's talk about some of the realities in District 30. Many neighborhoods remain blighted, many that we discussed there on that map we showed you. Other parts of Dallas have grown. Parts of District 30 really have not. They need significant work and investment. If elected, what can you do, though, Barbara, to turn things around?
The first thing I will do is to get together with all of the other elected officials to pool the resources that are available to invest in the district. We have an African-American commissioner, African-American city council members, several of them. We have our district that extends all the way out to Cedar Hill, Duncanville, and DeSoto. So the first thing that I think that we need to do is to look to see the basic issues that are affecting our districts: poverty, high unemployment, lower economic and social deliberation in our district. So that is the first thing that I will do, is to pool the resources together to make a difference in those blighted areas. As you mentioned, I'm a former city council member. I'm a former state representative. And what I did during those tenures is, particularly on the city council, it is my work and the reason that we have the University of North Texas. It is my work as transportation, chair of transportation, the reason that we had the discussion to begin to build the Caraway bridges. It is my work that we began to redevelop and to restructure West Dallas. It is my work that we have a lot of the infrastructure, whether it was terms of recreation centers and other infrastructure issues that we are now enjoying.
Now, for both of you, Eddie Bernice has all this power over science and space, transportation, water resources. She's considered to be a very powerful senior member in Washington, ranking member on committees. Right. You know, how would you get something done for Dallas coming in as a backbench freshman? Eric?
Well, I think that working together across party lines is key. I mean, we have to have partnerships. I mean, with Congresswoman Johnson, she wants to build a park 238,000 miles away from Dallas on the moon. We have people in Sand Branch that's been without water for 30 years, and she sat on the Water and Resource Committee. That's just not acceptable. We need true liberation from the colonialist past that's been protecting us in this district. And Eddie Bernice Johnson has been right there working with those individuals to keep the oppression that we have in our community. And that just cannot continue to exist.
Barbara, what committees would you like to serve on if you're elected? What are the main areas you'd like to focus on?
Well, I certainly love to sit on housing, to make sure that we have affordable housing, because those are some issues that we need to address. I certainly would love to sit on public safety because of all these guns and the inability for our current Congresswoman to even speak out about the tragedies we're having. And in addition to that, education. So those are the issues that I would like to address. Those are the issues that I'm passionate about.
Eric, you have committees you like?
Yes, I would love to sit on the Space and Science Committee, simply because of the fact that we have students here in the district that needs to be aware that drone education is a big industry. I mean, they can get in that industry at 16 years old now, paying $100,000 out of the gate. I want to make the South the Silicon Valley of the South in District 30. I want to bring resources to this area through a resource revolution.
We saw another mass shooting in Florida
Yes.
a few days ago, too. If elected, what, if anything, could Congress do, should Congress do?
Well, I think we need to change the gun legislation laws.
What would you do?
I firmly believe we need to ban assault rifles. We need to ban bump stocks. I mean, people want to talk about the Second Amendment and the militias, but that was 242 years ago. I mean, we're living in a new time. We need new laws, and really, I think the Constitution needs to be updated.
Well, in addition to that, the truth of the matter is that you can initiate background checks, and we must take on the NRA. The NRA has literally bought and put so much money into these races until people seem to be afraid of them. They control Congress. Even on the Republican side, in light of the shooting in Florida, they do not want to speak out and say that we need to make some changes to make sure that people, not everyone, is capable of owning a gun. So we have to look at that.
I want to ask you about the Me Too movement as well. Do you think Senator Al Franken should have been pressured to resign, Barbara?
Well, he made that decision, and I think that
he faced pressure from inside the party as well.
He did, and he did what he thought was the best. But you also have Ms. Johnson, who said that the sexual assault is the responsibility of the way the women dress. It's because of that. So whereas he faced some backlash, where is the responsibility of women, particularly Congresswoman Johnson, who said that women should look, it's the way that have some responsibility. So I don't think that that's right either.
She said that was something for her generation, something that the way older people talk, and then she apologized for it. Eric, how did you feel?
She's out of touch. She's old school, just like she said. I think that no woman should be sexually assaulted in any shape, form, or fashion. And I think for her to sit up and say what she said just lets us know she's out of touch, and we need new leadership in District 30. I mean, I'll say it again, 46 years is too long, and we need new leadership. We need liberation in District 30.
And the unfortunate thing about it is that we keep referring to Ms. Johnson, but she hasn't shown up at this forum of this debate or anywhere. So I think that I will not continue to address her issues when she is not present to even talk about her own.
Our invitation does stand to the Congresswoman if she does want to appear, so that remains on the table too. Barbara, Mallory, Caraway, and Eric Williams, candidates for Congressional District 30, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.